guys, it's Mr. Easy BB from AvacWeb Tutorials, and this is lesson 2 on the HTML5 and all of its awesomeness. Today we'll be taking a quick gander at some HTML5 audio and video elements, as well as supporting JavaScript for custom players. We're going to go pretty deep into this, so grab your britches and let's get going. Okay, so first, this is what's going to happen, what it's going to look like. Let me turn this down so in case you guys can hear this. So you'll be playing this music. This is going to be the end product altogether. And you can see this progress bar. This is a new HTML5 element as well. I styled this pretty advanced. I'm not going to go into the CSS. We might look at it just to show you guys what's going on. But this will keep filling up all the way till it's done playing. See? It goes all the way until it's done playing. There's a little algorithm that you need to know for this to make it 100% at all times. Anyways, the buttons, these are all going to help you, as well as changing to a song and back to the other song. Alright, so let's get coding. Okay, so first you'll need an MP3 file and an OGG file. If you don't have OGG, you can convert by going to media.io. It's the best conversion that I've seen so far on the web without using a software. So once we have those, we can create our audio tags. And inside here, you're going to need a source. And then the source takes an attribute called source. Okay, so let's put our source in here. I only have MP3 right now. I have an OGG file, but actually let me see if I can find it here. If it's the same file name. Yeah, it is. Okay, so we can actually duplicate this and just change the file type. OGG. Okay. So now what we're going to do is actually look at some of the stuff. We're going to give this an ID too. Call this audio player. And now let's look at some of the HTML5 audio player attributes that we need to add. Okay, so I put up in here little notes of the attributes. I got these from W3 Schools instead of trying to explain these and forgetting something to you. Alright, so you have autoplay. You can just do autoplay, or you can just leave it alone and by just doing this. But for now, we're just going to do this. And what these do is they add the controls. You could take them off, which for autoplay, we're going to take that off. You can set loop to anything, like loop. That's infinite basically. If you want it to be muted when it loads, you can do that. You can do preload, metadata, none, which just specifies if and how the author thinks the audio should be loaded when the page loads. This doesn't mean that the browser is going to accept what you say. It might forget, just skip right over it. So we'll leave auto alone, whatever. And you can actually add a source to this too. But for Firefox and Google Chrome, we put the source in here. Okay. Alright, so now we're going to wrap this up in a div. Okay. Now let's run this and see what it looks like. Alright. Close that one. As you can hear, it's working. Okay, now we're going to start creating some buttons down here. And what these are basically going to do is create our buttons for the player. think we need 5. Play, pause, stop, not afraid, and spacebound. Now what this is, not afraid is the song, and spacebound is also the song. And for our song changing, we're actually going to change it by doing this, by creating a function. And you first have to do document.get element by ID, which we're going to hit the audio player, just like that. And we're going to say a.source equals audio. Then we have to do a.pause, a.load, and a.play. That's how we can actually change the audio. I know it seems a lot, but just trust me on here. Now we're going to add it up here. For not afraid, you can just grab it. I believe this this is the same thing, except for I think we did spacebound dot mp3. Alright, so let's refresh this. We'll play. Yep. Okay. So now we're going to save this. And what else are we going to do here? Oh, we have to do this, which we're just going to do something really simple. That play. Like I said, we're not going to do anything big on here. Dot pause. Dot stop. And then we're going to do dot current time equals 0 here, and just change that to pause, and then stop will make it go. Okay, so let's try this. And we can stop it, which, see how it brought it back. Alright, so far so good. Now we're also gonna create some breaks here. There we go. Now here we are going to create our progress, and progress accepts 2. It's max and the value. We want max to be 100%, and our value is going to be 0. Okay. Now in our script, we're going to say variable progress equals, let's give it an ID up here, document.get element by ID, okay, and then we're going to say progress, what is it? Oh, variable player as well. Document.get element by ID, audio player, player.add event listener. Time update is the function. Then we're gonna go function, or not the function, but time update is the listener that we need to listen to. Okay, so now we're gonna say progress dot value equals create parentheses here because this is going to be the mathematics. Okay, it's going to be e.target.current time times 100 divided by e.target.duration that actually should be what it is. So let's play this. Yep. See? Okay, so the algorithm, which is going to be your current time times 100 divided by the overall duration, which will make it so that it's 100% when you're trying to fill up that progress bar. Okay. Well, that's it for this. You guys probably wanted to see some of that styling. I'm going to show you just a little bit about the styling. I'm going to just copy and paste most of what I had in the other one. I was going to go through this more for you guys, that's why I left some notes. But this is really in depth, so I might make this a different video for you guys. Alright, let's check this out. Alright, there we go. See the gradient changes, like it gets wider. We can also fix this, which would be width. I remember this is 300 pixels. There. And that's how everything gets aligned up nicely, like the other video I showed you guys. And it was right here. There we go. Alright, so now let's minimize a lot of this stuff. Actually, let's just minimize this whole entire thing right here. We don't need any of this CSS anyways. Now we're going to get into the video. Okay, so I got everything set up already. As you can see, video is just like the audio tag. You just change audio to video. You have a source with a source. But the only difference is we have to have the type, which is the video / MP4, and the codecs underneath that, which is whatever that codecs is for the encoding of the video file. It helps the browser. But what's cool about the video tracks, or video HTML5 element, which is not supported yet, well, video is supported, not track though. This right here. This was pretty cool. No, wait. I think track was supported. It's just, hold on, let's check. Okay, yeah, I was getting a cross origin error, which is stupid because they're in the same exact spot. See what I mean? They're just different files. But anyways, let's take a look at some of the video attributes. We have autoplay, which is just like what it says. Show the controls or not. We can set the height. We can loop it if it's muted. We could change the poster, which is like the image that shows before the image or video. We can preload the automatically the metadata or none at all. We can change the source just like that, but we put the source inside, and we can change the width. There's really not much we can do difference-wise besides poster, and I already got an image. We're going to change the width to, I think it's, and then the height. Let's go to Google. Okay. Video size file. Dimensions. I spelled that wrong. Oh my god. Alright. Usually Google will give you something easier. Okay, right here. That's what we want. Let's do. Let's just do that, I guess, or this right here. 768, 432. Okay. Okay. Now we can redo this. As you can see, it shows the image that I put. We also need to add controls, which, like I told you before, we don't actually need to actually write equals controls, and then it's just going to show anyways. Um, you have the same thing. The only difference is now we can make this bigger. And you can click this to make it bigger. It's pretty cool. You can also set up the buttons to do this as well. You just have to do ID equals video player. And we're just going to open this up real quick and grab all these buttons. The only difference is that we don't need to change audio files. And we're going to change all of this. See? Same thing for audio and video. Except for, I guess, stop doesn't work on here. Okay. That's probably current position. I think I already figured out my error, which is right here. I believe that's the problem. Yeah, that was it. That was all. I don't even have to freaking debug. Anyways, you can debug like going like this. This filter here is use capture. I always set it to false. Sometimes I'll set it to true. You have to actually understand the use capture to know what if it's true or false. Most of the time, just leave it at false if you don't understand it. So how we do this is we're going to go console.log the E. And I believe that is it right. Yep. Okay. Now we're going to pause this. As you can see, we got all this little data right here. It's an object. And inside the target, you're just going to scroll down. Right here, this is the current time. You also have like default playback rate, which if you guys want to change that, we can change it. Just go down here. Default playback rate equals 3. Okay, I think I got that wrong. When you're inside the event listener, you have to do e.target. When you're outside of it, you just have to do the actual things, the properties. I'm trying to figure out where this one went. Oh, here's another little cool trigger here. You go up to the ease, ended. You can check if it's ended, and if it ends, you can do a callback function. Alright, so our default playback rate is actually 3, but it is not speeding up. So maybe we can't speed it up. Okay. So we have our loop, our muted, network state equals 1. You get all this stuff, information in here. Yep. Okay, that's it really. You can check all the properties in here by yourself. You also have like on double click on regular event listeners as well. I'm not going to do the progress bar in this one. You guys know how to do it. You guys can do it yourself. But we're not going to take a look at the nav bar because I'm just going to talk to you quickly about this. When using the nav bar, Alright, screw it. Let's just do it. Okay. So say you start off with your header for good old semantics. And then inside your header you want to have a navigation. That's okay. Don't use nav all the time because you're only going to want to use nav on where you want Google to crawl or other search engine crawlers, bots, whatever you want to call them. But inside here, you're going to just regular how you usually do it, and you go li. Probably helps if we did this right. Okay. I'm just going to write some text in here. Okay. And then we're going to refresh this. It doesn't look anything different. It's just whatever. Literally, like I showed you guys. Article, aside, footer, header, H group, main, nav, and section. These are like the main new HTML5 elements. They're all display block. So don't, yeah, there's nothing great about them. They're just there for help you with semantics and a better organization. So let's take a look. Some of you guys don't know. I'm trying to freaking right click and inspect the element here. Alright, so some of you guys don't understand how to use the console. This is kind of like a 4-part video, all mixed in together. So you're going to look at your stuff over here. This is your user agent styles. You just go in here to element style, and you could change stuff. What I'm doing right here is looking at all this stuff, and then there's some more padding down here. See it? WebKit padding start 40 pixels. Change that to 0, it goes all the way over. Okay. Now our LI. Our user agent style, there's 2 of them because it's WebKits and then actual. Display list item, which is okay, but we want to do this either display inline block. Wait, maybe it's inline. Oh, you know what? We should do. There we go. There we go. That was the problem. I was only affecting this one element up here, as you can see. Then you can add some margin to this. No margin at the top. Outer. You can add some border just in here. You can add a background of, let's say, gray, C3, C3, C3. Padding of 10 pixels. Line height of 30 pixels. Don't mess with line height unless you don't know how to use it. This is just me messing around with it. Here, let's just delete that. Don't pay attention to me. Since these are all just list items or inline, they're not going to move. We have to go up here, margin top, 10 pixels. Okay. Another thing I want to talk to you guys about. If you did margin top right here, that's okay. But then if you did margin 0 below it, it's going to automatically do that. CSS reads just like humans do, from top to bottom. So whatever is going to be the bottom is going to take over. It's got a higher priority. Yeah. Now you can also go deeper into this by going body, header, nav, UL. This takes higher precedence. No, it doesn't. That is messed up. Oh, that's why. Oh my gosh. Am I out of it today or what? It's still crossed out, but as you can see up here, I'm unclicking this, and it's moving the margin top back to 30 pixels. Another way you can look at it is look right here. You see the margin, the border, the padding, and the actual width of this element. You take that off, or turn it on, turn it off, turn it on, turn it off. This right here is what your box sizing and how to understand it. Usually works. Usually when you do a border box, you'll take, say if your width's 500 pixels and you had a padding of 10, your width then will turn 520 pixels. But if you did border box, it would do 500 pixels technically, right back to it. But what it really would do is make it 480 pixels wide with 20 pixel padding. And why I say 20 is 10 pixels on each side. Um, yep, that's it for my rambles today. I hope you guys understood some stuff. Um, if you didn't understand this last bit of the video, whatever, I'm sorry. I get into a rant. Just enjoy yourself with this new stuff that you can do.